Murder can happen anywhere, and the killers and victims can be anyone. But in a pocket of West Louisville, leaders in the African American community say the killings have become chronic. Tonight, as we begin to tell the real impact of local violence, we take you to what's known as the epicenter of an epidemic, a place where young guns strike fear and children are immersed in violence.
Drugs, alcohol.
In the heart of West Louisville,
Gambling, gangbangs.
at Beecher Terrace,
Young gun and killing.
guns
You ever see a gun?
I mean, I see them every day.
are real. Nearly everyone here is immersed.
People can start shooting and, like, anybody can get hit.
In a paralyzing cycle of violence and pain.
Is there anybody around here who hasn't been touched by violence?
No.
Including kids.
People have guns and they get angry.
Duane Taylor is just 13 years old, but already he's seen
I seen an AK-47, an AR-15, Desert Eagle.
and heard. Have you heard them being fired? More than most can imagine.
And that's because I'm surrounded by bad stuff.
Duane even faced down one of the young guns here.
You ever have a gun pointed at you, J1? What were you doing?
Walking.
And what'd they want from you?
I don't know.
You took off. Did you think you were gonna get shot?
So Duane escapes.
I don't do nothing. I just stay in the house and play my game.
Games like Grand Theft Auto.
Don't you have to kill police in Grand Theft Auto?
You do.
Why you make me so angry?
When I get mad, that's really the time that I play that game. Because I know I can take all my anger out on make-believe people.
Anger fueled by an absent father who has been in and out of prison.
I seen him twice when he got out of prison. He just got arrested again.
And a struggle to make it on these mean streets.
'Cause I knew if I had that gun and I would have got angry, I would have shot somebody. Or somebody would have shot me.
Other kids, like 11-year-old Kimoni, known as Chewy. You held a gun.
Yes.
And his 13-year-old brother Khalil, known as Tank,
My daddy, he done got shot.
live in fear too. Death literally dropped on their doorstep when a gunshot victim fell outside their home in the summer of 2011.
I seen the bullet hit him, he just fell down and he was dead. I was scared.
The brothers play basketball at a community league to stay off the streets and out of trouble.
It's not normal because people usually have fun and laugh.
Back at Beecher,
It's like, so what? No black person dead.
teens gather to talk about the epidemic of guns and violence,
I just heard gunshots.
including Stacia Young,
I was running for a little minute and then my whole body just collapsed.
who had a bullet ripped through her in 2006. She was just 12 years old. Her friend Cheyenne carried her out. Cheyenne lost not one, but two boyfriends to guns.
That was my backbone, not everything. I gotta wake up to my kids every day. The only thing I don't got no daddy.
Here, guns are a chronic problem,
This is life.
and violence is an epidemic.
It's like people don't care.
I'm not gonna know what to do when I have a gun pointed at me.
But you think that day's coming? You do. You gonna be able to make it without getting into trouble or acting out in a violent way?
Maybe.
Maybe.
And tonight we continue a historic group interview in prison with 7 convicted killers from Louisville. They all grabbed headlines when they killed, but what's life like now behind bars? And what do these convicted killers say to the young guns on our streets? It's a powerful message from prison as we continue our investigation, the real impact of local violence. I'm Duane Pullman. I'll see you back here on WLKY News at 11. Inside the Kentucky State Reformatory, a remarkable sight as 7 inmates who once grabbed headlines on the streets of Louisville gather to talk about the awful crimes that landed them here. How many of you killed someone? All 7 of these men from Louisville killed.
It happened like that.
Most used guns. You murdered. Gun?
Yeah. Took his life before he was able to take mine.
Both of them died from one bullet. You feel me?
Where'd that bullet come from, Deshaun?
It came from me.
One used a knife. And you pushed a knife into someone and they died.
Yes.
And every one of them wishes they could have changed what happened. How many of you wish you could take that moment back? Nearly all of them asked that we use their first names.
Michael.
My name is Dante.
Jerona.
Brandon. My name is Don Quatis.
Deshaun.
Except for Michael. He is Michael Holloway.
When I came to that fork in the road, I chose to go down the wrong path.
Also known as Michael Lockhart.
I never thought that everything I was doing would lead to me killing someone.
A former PRP basketball star who seemingly had it all.
Like I said, I was a success.
But in the summer of 2001, he shot and killed a woman he met on the internet. The person you killed, do you think about that?
Every single day.
Now he's here with the others, in prison with no hope of getting out.
This is hard. Doing time in here is hard.
The other inmates are facing long sentences too. Michael has been in prison for 4 years for killing a man in 2008.
It was just a heated argument. There wasn't no time to think.
He has a long way to go.
I got life without parole.
Jirona is 41 years old.
Looking back on it, I made a stupid and impulsive decision. And it resulted, like I said, in a person who had nothing to do with the situation losing his life.
He's been here since 1994 with a long sentence too.
I'm 65 years, Mr. Pullman.
Most killed when they were very young. In 1998, Brandon was just 17 years old when he shot and killed a man during a robbery. If you go back to yourself at 17 years old, what would you tell that kid who pulled that trigger? What would you say to him?
Stay in school. Take the anger that I had built up inside of me and channel it in on something else. Do something positive with my life.
All 7 inmates say they were on the same violent paths that now play out on today's streets.
It's like a disease, it's like a plague.
Mixed with a world of drugs. Were you dealing?
Yeah.
I was selling them.
You were selling?
Yeah.
And despair. So it's kill or be killed.
Yeah.
Is that what?
That's what it was. That's what it is.
Those who kill end up here, where the streets, the inmates say, even give that a status.
Something that's fly or hip or cool. If you do time, it ups your status on the streets.
But being locked up, the inmates say, is no badge of honor.
Badge don't mean nothing to me. I want out of here.
It sucks bad. This is terrible.
And so these men who killed delivered a strong message to young guns on today's streets.
Don't be impulsive. Think. Walk away. There's always a way out of a situation. Find that way out of that situation.
To take a different path.
I'm talking to everywhere in Louisville. Period. All the kids, everybody who wants to listen.
What's that message?
Man, stay away from drugs, you know, and try to live a positive life, you know, stay away from the negativity, you feel me, and stay away from guns and violence. You see it happening, go the other way.
Because the one they chose,
it is about choices,
leads only to 2 destinations.
Where? Dead and near her next to me.
Her name is Kinnicky Lucas. She proudly served her country for 8 years without an incident. But it was here on the streets of Louisville that this former Marine faced deadly force for the first time, a bullet that nearly took her life. In the early morning hours on January 14th, gunshots ring out.
Maybe 3 or 4.
29-year-old Kinnicky Lucas was in her car outside this nightclub when 9mm bullets ripped through. One of them,
I felt it.
Tore through her abdomen.
My body just got hot.
Your body got hot?
And my breath, it was gone. When I looked down, I had on a sweater and I could just see the blood.
Kinnicky Lucas had proudly served our country as a Marine for 8 years.
It's a shame I come home from the service without getting a scratch to get hurt.
Now she was in the fight of her life here at home on the streets of Louisville.
Scared. I was just praying that I was going to live. I couldn't even flag anybody down.
Struggling alone in a car.
Nobody was around.
To survive.
I called 911 myself.
Kinnicky was rushed here to University Hospital. The bullet had torn through her stomach and liver.
It went in my left side and came out my right.
She was near death.
I've heard a lot of people who've, taken a stomach injury that I have of my size didn't make it.
But she did.
I have holes in my large intestine, small intestine, my stomach and my liver.
The trauma team saved her.
I have 2 drains.
3 surgeries repaired her.
I have a cut going from my breastbone, which goes down to my pelvis area.
On the day she talked to me, she was about to be released. Kinnicky was emotional, happy to be alive.
These are tears of joy. These are tears that you aren't having a vigil for me right now. My mother didn't have to bury me a week ago, 2 weeks ago,
But she also cried for what else that bullet may have taken away.
I'm 29 years old. I don't have children. I live by myself. I may not be able to have children.
What Kinnicky didn't tell us during our interview was that she was pregnant, almost 6 weeks along. She lost the baby the next day.
When you get shot, you can't move. You can't scream. Your voice is so small.
Sharonda Morris was shot in this nightclub 2 days before Kinnicky was gunned down.
I lost so much blood that the crowd really started to panic.
A stray .40 caliber fired during an angry fight inside.
I caught in the middle of it.
Found Sharonda on the dance floor.
As the bullet went through my hand, it hit me in the collarbone, and the bullet hit me in the neck. And it broke my collarbone in half. And I still have the bullet enlarged in my back.
That bullet still threatens to paralyze her. Meanwhile, the escalating gun violence in Louisville,
it's spreading like an epidemic,
emanating from the west side, is paralyzing parts of our community.
I'll never walk outside again, and everything will be okay.
With desperate victims,
this gun violence has got to stop.
Pleading for peace.
Is this city in trouble?
It's been in trouble for a long time. A lot of people I grew up with are dead and gone. It's been in trouble for a long time.